So we ended up, so this is about 7.3. We ended up looking at, all the different animal cells and plant cells and the organelles within them. So you will get a chance to kind of look at this. One thing that's going to happen is at some point, you guys are going to be testing your memory. This will happen today. There's Jordan. So today you will end up looking at specifically an animal cell, specifically a human cell, and I'm just going to get you guys to try and identify the stuff. It's no stakes. If you get it wrong, that's fine. Again, it's one of those things where we need to actively be practicing trying to identify and learn this stuff because there's so much stuff, right? So that's what we're eventually going to end up doing today. But we'll finish this first. So okay. Oh, not nuclear. So this is still 7.3. So we just have 4 questions for us here. Not nuclear. In nuclei. So I have 3 questions here today. So what's going to happen is I'm going to get you guys to write down questions 1, 2, and 4. Do not worry about question 3. I'm going to print something off for you tonight so that you can use that instead. So do not worry about question number 3. And after this, we're going to move on to 7.4. Here, let me just pause that. Cool. So first one here, what does a nucleus do in a eukaryotic cell? Any guesses? Again, try not to use your notes. I know we're going from yesterday. What is stored in a nucleus? DNA. Yeah. So what does a nucleus do? It contains DNA and it controls the manufacturing of proteins. It's kind of like the brain of the cell. But again, it's really just the brain of it, right? The next one here is we want to think like what does the ER do? Those ERs, endoplasmic reticulums. It's kind of a trick question. Why is it a trick question? It does have something to do with proteins, and there is 2 of them. So the one you're thinking of is probably the rough ER, because that is what does produce proteins. Then you remember, 1, what is the other ER? Or 2, what it does? So we also have a smooth one. And it handles the carbs and the fats. So you have all 3 of your macro vitamins there. You have protein, carbs, and fats. The ER's rough one does protein, the other one does the other 2. Okay, so now question 3 is we're not going to write any notes down because there's a lot. I've put it all down, I've organized it, I've sorted it for you. But question 3 is quite a bit here, which is we're going to compare and contrast the structure of plants and animal cells, aka what is the same and what is different. So what's the same and what's different between plants and animal cells? Can we start with the differences? Can anyone tell me what some of those might be? Yeah, plant cells have the chloroplast, right? That's what makes that green color, for example. You get photosynthesis. That's one of them. They have a cell wall, and animal cells do not. That's good. Is there any other? We'll open up the similarities now too. Is there anything that's the same in them? Yes. They have a nucleus. Yeah. Yes. Well, that's something that's different actually. The animal ones have that, but the plant ones do not. So this is the full list here. There's a lot, right? So I'm not going to make you guys write that down. This will get printed off for you. I'm going to upload this as well onto the LMS, this exact slide for you guys. So if you've ever seen these before, this is a Venn diagram, right? So anything that's in here, you're noticing is intersecting all 3 of these. Means that, so they're prokaryotics, eukaryotic, those are animals, and then we have plant cells, right? So there's technically 3. All 3 of them have genetic material. They have plasma membranes. They have ribosomes and cytoplasm. So that, like, that's what that means. But if we look at like question 4 here, that's just the animal eukaryotic cells and then the prokaryotic cells. Well, what's the same between those, or cilia and flagellia, between the animal and prokaryotic? 3, the cell wall, and so on and so forth. This is a prokaryotic capsule, sorry. So I will print this off for you. You don't have to worry about that. The last one here was, how would lysosomes be involved from turning a caterpillar into a butterfly? That's a hard question. So when it says hypothesize, it's taken an educated, not a guess, but we're making an educated opinion on it. Like, how could, we know that caterpillars turn into butterflies. How? How does that happen? They completely change their body shape and organs. So before you even go into lysosomes, just what do we know about that process? Does anyone know how a caterpillar turns into a butterfly?
How does it turn into a butterfly?
Yeah.
Doesn't it go into the cocoon?
You're right. So it goes into a cocoon, and once it's in a cocoon, it starts to do something to its body.
All the cells together.
Sorry?
Instead of puts all the cells together.
Well, but you're close actually. You're closer than you think. So it's not just like it grew or it molted its skin. A caterpillar is pretty unique. Change its genetic material. Or no? I'm not 100% sure. I could see that. So what it actually does is it liquefies itself. It is like, imagine you turning yourself into a puddle and then rebuilding yourself. That's what it does. It was really, really intense. And I can't think of other things that do it, but the lysosomes dissolve the caterpillar tissue. So we would have to look at what does a lysosome do and then apply to the context. This is a brutally difficult question, of course. But just to give you some, context there. Okay. And with that, that is the end of 7.3. Kind of. So that's in the notes and stuff for it. So by some point today, we will give you a chance to go through some of the cells and test your memory. Again, it's just kind of saving future you study it. Cramming doesn't work very well. Okay. Let me close out of this. Okay, so with that, we're gonna hop on over to section 4, which is we're going to be looking at cellular transport. So as I said earlier, a lot of what the focus of this is how cells use potassium and how they use sodium, salt, is the big stuff here. So we'll end up going through that today. This will be the end of section 7 as well. Okay, so what we're gonna do today is you're gonna get the I'm gonna get you guys to start reading that out. I'm trying to remember how many pages it was. Oh, that's why I'm on the wrong thing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna read 7.4 until about 10 o'clock. We'll say about 2:15. So I'll get you guys to go to your book. We'll give you a chance to read that there till about 2:15. And same as before, there is not going to be a quick check for this. Instead, to save you guys some time on notes, I have and diagrams as well. Whenever there's diagrams, I want people to keep that. I printed that off instead. And then I hand all this stuff back to you guys tomorrow. But you're all going to be using it for something tomorrow. Then how many pages was and I think go there's something to go one and then how many pages is it? Oh, if you go back. One to two. Okay, so 6 pages. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it starts on page 201 is where it is. For those of you online, you can find it. Let me look it up. Here, I'm just loading it. I'm just gotta load it up on the LMS for you guys. Gonna be this thing, and that can be found. Where is it? There we go. So that can just be found right here.